Fireside chat. I feel so fancy. Classical music playing in the background, like fireside chat with Laura Long. Hey guys, so for you newbies out there, I tend to get a lot of emails from you saying, Laura, how do I start a private practice when I have like $0? So today I'm gonna share just a couple of quick tips with you on how you can find office spaces that are more affordable than just taking on a full lease by yourself. Stay tuned. So I get asked a lot, how am I supposed to start a private practice when I have almost no money and somehow I'm supposed to come up with hundreds or even thousands of dollars to find an office space, secure a lease, and completely furnish a place? Well, the good news is you guys have options. So today, I'm gonna share with you guys a few ideas on how you can get an office space on the cheap. So one idea is to actually reach out to a group practice in your area, or if there's a building that has some therapists in it, but they're all running their own separate business, you can reach out to any one of them and see if maybe they're willing to rent out their space to you, either by the hour or by the day. That way, you're not having to take on an entire lease if you only have 1 or 2 clients. You can just pay for the time that you're using the office. Another thing that you can do is if you're a part of a local listserv or a Facebook group just for therapists that are local to you, you can post in there asking if anyone is willing to have you sublease their space. Many therapists who are full don't really want to see clients in the evenings or early in the morning or on weekends. So if you have that flexibility, you can actually sublease their space from them during times when they're not going to be in the office anyway. Another thing that's kind of hit or miss, honestly, is Craigslist. So if you live in a more urban area, then I think people use Craigslist a lot more if they have an office that they're willing to sublet just for a few hours or a day or 2 a week. Sometimes Craigslist can be a little bit sketchy, so it just depends on what area you live in. Something else that you could do is actually go in with another therapist. If the 2 of you are wanting to start private practice, but you're starting from 0, you guys could both get on a lease together. One of you would basically have to sign off on the whole thing, and the other person would sublet from the first person. So you can't really have 2 people's names on the lease, but at least you guys can go in together and then you can basically split the lease so that one person is maybe seeing clients Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the other person is seeing them Tuesday, Thursday, and maybe some of Friday or Saturday. Also, if you know of any therapist, you can go on maybe Psychology Today and look for someone who is in your niche or your niche and reach out to them and see if maybe they would be willing to let you rent from them, especially if they're full, because they are always looking for high quality referrals. So to have someone who serves the same population as them that they can refer to in their own office, that might be a win-win for both of you. Another thing that you can try is to maybe reach out to another provider who's not a therapist, but is still in your industry. So maybe a psychiatrist or a nutritionist or someone who's still working with a similar population, and you can ask them if they have an extra office that you can rent from them. The thing is, when you're getting started, you really don't want to spend so much money on furnishing an office. So it's better to find someone who already has an office with furniture in it, because that saves you a ton of money on the front end that you may or may not have. Finding someone who's already furnished an office, they've done the legwork up front for you, so you don't have to worry about spending hundreds or thousands of dollars on fancy office furniture. You get to just start right off without a lot of capital, and you get a nice office out of it. Now is also a perfect time for you to get out there and start networking. I know all of you introverts are like, I don't want to network, I'm too scared. Well, honestly, you're a business owner now, so you have to be willing to take someone out for coffee or for lunch and ask them questions about their practice and how they got to where they are. In the conversation, you can weave the fact that you're interested in getting started, you're brand new, and maybe through those conversations, you never know who is out there saying, you know, I'd really like to sublet my office just for a day or just a few days a week. But you have to do that initial reaching out, make that contact before you're ever going to even find out if there's office space available, because not everybody is going to be going on these listservs or on Psychology Today or on Craigslist and saying it out loud. Like, you have to be the one to initiate that contact. So not only is it great to have those contacts for when you start your private practice, you're going to need great people to refer to, but it's also great to have that relationship already started so that if someone hears of an office space that's available, you'll be in the front of their mind. I can't emphasize the importance of relationship building enough. I went out to lunch one time with someone that I had never met before, and through that one conversation, I was able to get her on, and now she's subletting from us. She would have never had that opportunity had she not made that contact initially with me. I want to end with something that I heard one of my mentors say several years ago, and it has stuck with me this whole time. He said, "Don't be 40 before you're 40." Now, what he meant by that is don't try to run before you can walk. You have to start somewhere. So even though some of these ideas I've presented today, you're probably thinking to yourself like, oh man, that's so cheap, and what if the person's furniture isn't my taste, or I don't want to be limited to only seeing clients these hours or one day a week. The truth is you do have to start somewhere. So if you're wanting to save money up front, just know that this is a temporary situation. You're not in this for years and years having to be stuck with this setup. You can start very, very small, and eventually you'll get to the place where you've saved up enough and you can rent your own space and make it look exactly how you want. So don't be 40 before you're 40. Learn to walk first, and then as you grow, you can get a space that really is exactly what you want. If you are already in private practice, I want you to do me a favor. Comment below and tell us how you found your very first office space. I'm sure that you have so many other ideas that I didn't even bring up today. So you can help a newbie out who's watching this and figure out what are some ways that they can find an office space on the cheap. So comment below and tell us, how did you find your very first office space? All right, see you next week. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit subscribe and go to yourbadasstherapypractice.com. I have a free 4-part video e-course on how to take your Psychology Today profile from bad to badass. Can't wait to see you there.